This is Sue Moulton, and this is the Moulton team. And I have a few of the girls that went to conference with us this year, and we're just going to take a couple minutes and talk about why we think conference was so great and why this year, between now and next summer, it's important for you to start saving some money aside. I joked that when I saved money for my wedding, I took a wine bottle and I rolled up $20 bills and I pushed it down inside the wine bottle every time I had a really good tip when I waitressed for my second job. And I just stuck that money aside because you can't pull it back out of the wine bottle until it's all full. So I recommend that you start a savings club right now for conference because you're not going to want to miss next year. So we're going to have Emily Schumann talk first. This was her first time attending conference in Chicago. So Emily, take it away. Tell us your aha moments and why people should come to conference next year with us.
Okay, well, for me, the aha moment of conference was really meeting a whole lot of people and knowing that not everyone has the same background of like stay-at-home moms versus like CEOs who do this on the side. And that was my aha moment because working full-time, it's like most of my team members, they don't have full-time jobs right now. Like Pampered Chef is their full-time job. So it's nice to meet other people who do have that in common. So, and that was the importance for me of networking, the whole part of Pampered Chef. There's 3,500 consultants there. We all run our own businesses and they're all willing to help you succeed as well as themselves, which I think is awesome. Like, I don't know how many other people you can see in the sales world that are willing to help you succeed as well as yourself versus trying to step on you. So I thought that was really fantastic. And then my favorite part of conference was it actually wasn't the home office training, it was the Nancy Jo Ryan training.
Yes.
Because you get to see so many different people who are actually theoretically still on your team because of the downline workings, and just the conglomerate of all the people. It was really awesome to see all of them, and it's nice to see unfiltered people and how the real world and not just the Pampered Chef world gets us in. So that was my
I absolutely agree with what Emily's saying. And so she was talking about that Nancy Jo Ryan, which is your national executive director, who has the largest organization in Pampered Chef, asked some guest speakers to come up and they talked about different topics. And one of the topics Emily's talking about was a woman who she is a CEO of her own business. She has 80 employees. She runs a healthcare organization. She works between 60 and 80 hours a week, and she still does 2 shows a week with Pampered Chef. And you might ask, what's that?
I said her monthly goal is 10 shows, and her idea was smarter, not harder, and be organized, which she's the one that I wrote most of my notes on.
Exactly. And you might ask, why would somebody who's a CEO of their own company do something like Pampered Chef? And I want to encourage you, if you have not read the book, Take the Stairs by Rory Vaden. He talks about double time, short time, which means if you work really hard for a very short period of time, then you will have free time continually. And that's what that woman's looking for. She's working 60 to 80 hours a week at her CEO job. She wants to eventually not have to do that, but be able to replace that income doing what she loves in a shorter period of time. So I agree with the unfiltered part as well. You don't get to see that from home office. Obviously, we're a big corporation and the lawyers get involved about what you can and cannot say from stage. So Nancy Jo Ryan just brings a bunch of consultants that are out in the field. They are working the job. And I loved Michael Reeves, who said that he had lost career sales 9 times, and yet he's $1 million seller already. And so he's been in less time than I've been in, and he's already hit his $1 million mark. So that man works 20 shows a month. This is his full-time job, and he provides for his whole family doing this full-time. So it was so great, as Emily said, to see all different people sharing about different aspects of the business unfiltered. They're going to tell you what they really struggle with and how they overcame them. Anything else you want to add, Em?
I would like to add that I did take, so one of the workshops that I took that I thought was really interesting was the, it was, hold on, I'm getting there. It was Beat the Clock and Manage Your Time. So that's the one, because I work full time, this was really intriguing to me. Some of the information that they were providing, like your stats on the TV and the phone, like how much time you spend not being productive, that was just like, oh, wow, look at that. Yeah, I bet you a good portion of these people are in the same boat as all of us. We spend too much time on Facebook not doing business activities instead. So, and for me, their top things was to simplify, prioritize, eliminate, and delegate. So those top things of how to manage your time, you need to do those things, and then it kind of all falls into place there. So find out what works for you and do it.
And
That's
one of
something that,
your little aha moments that Emily shared with me was when you're stamping catalogs, rather than stamping catalogs and watching a TV show, or stamping catalogs and listening to country music, if that's what you like, you're stamping catalogs and you're listening to one of the MP3 trainings on how to get bookings, how to improve your sales, or something like that. It's multitasking in an effective way that when you're focused on business, you're focused on doing all kinds of business.
yeah, squeezing your trainings anywhere you can get. If you have an iPad, you can do a training. So I thought that was great.
Yes, yes. And there are ways to download them to your phone so that when you're driving in the car, you can just queue them up. And if you're driving to a show, most of my shows are about a half an hour away. You can get a training to the show and back. You can get a whole training done depending upon whether it's a national conference training or whether it's just one of the shorter trainings. Perfect.
I'm going to go back to work. So
okay,
enjoy the rest
good.
of the
Thanks, thanks so much. Wendy, you're up next. So give us your aha moments.
Aha moment for me was the learning. My brain was full when I left. I've been to other conferences years ago, and there was learning, but this really gave me the right tools I needed to do this full time. Going through the home office I thought was very special because we got to see the grassroots of how the company actually was established, how Doris Christopher based her company on family and friends and God, and to see how it's run so well. The warehouse is amazing. They produce 1 million parts out of there. The products are shipped out 1 million parts, I think it was per day.
Yeah, $1 million per day.
$1 million a day. And I think it equated to 12,700 pieces, products a day were sent out. So that was quite amazing. And then I guess my favorite thing was winning $500 worth of executive cookware that they only gave 5 sets out. And I was in the group, the last one to be chosen. So that was exciting because I've never won anything before. Meeting everybody was a great, you've got 3,500 people that you can pick your brain with and connect with and build relationships with, so that when you leave there, it's not just you and your team. You can really stretch out across the whole country, see if anyone connects with your life, and pick brains from each other all the time, especially with social media.
Exactly.
So wonderful. I just thought it was great. I got everything I needed. I needed to know how to work smarter, not harder, being full-time, having mom live at home, and just other things going on, that it really was an awesome conference. Everyone should start saving now.
And what workshops did you attend while you were at conference?
Oh, I attended recruiting conference, a recruiting one, time management, and abundant bookings.
And any ahas from those?
Yeah, the abundant bookings I got from one lady who was in the Excellence Awards ceremony. She decided to take 1 month out of her year and double book. And so say your goal is 5 shows a month, you pick that 1 month and do 10. She said when she did that, she never had to call another person for another booking. She was booked solid all the time. Of course, you've got to do the follow-up, the host coaching, and everything on all those. That will keep your bookings going and not go stagnant, because you could go stagnant if you didn't follow up.
Yeah, I'm so glad you mentioned that, because for those watching this link, fall launches August 4th at Southern New Hampshire University in Hooksett. And the topic that I'm going to be talking about is from Rory Vaden's book called Short Time, Double Time, which is exactly what Wendy's talking about. It's taking a 30-day period of time and working really hard, double time of what you normally do, in order to have free time later. So I hope you all mark that in your calendar. If you're a consultant, it's $25 if you haven't already registered. And if you are a guest, you're free. And I encourage everybody on the team to bring guests with them, because we're going to have an opportunity event for a half an hour before the meeting starts, that we're going to be talking about what it takes to become a Pampered Chef consultant. So if they decide that after the meeting that they're ready to sign up, we can sign them up right there and then. And we often have multiple people sign up the night of fall launch. So if you have potential team members, you need to get them there for sure. Anything else you want to add, Wendy?
Oh, I could go on and on for an hour, so I'll let Alyssa talk.
Okay, Alyssa, you're up.
Okay. Well, being a consultant for only about 4 months so far, I had so many aha moments, and I was just so happy that I went to conference. It was incredible. I learned that I didn't know that I was a part of something so big, and I learned that this business can actually be really, really successful. All of the national executive directors and everything, everyone works so hard, and you can just business how you want to make it. It was amazing. What else did I learn?
Did you have some workshops that you went to? Which ones did you choose?
I did. I went to Product Pros Have Bigger Shows, Abundant Bookings, and oh my gosh. Help hosts max their shows.
Excellent. So give a tip from one of those seminars that you were like, oh, this was really a good tip.
Let's see. Well, I learned that it's important for guests to invite, or hosts to invite 40 or more people, which I thought was a crazy amount of people to invite, because if you think about it, you don't really think you know 40 people, but you do, because no prejudging, never prejudge. That's one thing that I really like that I learned. Ask everyone.
Ask everyone, right? Judge no one. Exactly. That's perfect. And we'll talk about host coaching and how to help your hostesses if they say, I don't know 40 people, saying, no problem. You know, do you have just a quick minute, having them pull out a piece of paper, and we'll go through the Frank list with them and have them write down, 5 names of neighbors, 5 names of relatives, 5 names of coworkers, 5 names of previous coworkers, 5 people from church, that kind of thing. And before you know it, they've got 45 or 50 names down there. And, we can help them to do that. And letting them know, if you invite 40 people, only a third of those will be able to actually attend your show. So that's awesome. Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I would just like to say that even though this is like an individual business, this is my business, this is your business, you're never alone. I loved the team feeling, and everyone was so welcoming, and I loved it so much.
Yeah, so helpful. I'm going to go to the email from Susie. Can you guys still see me?
Yes.
And you can still hear me okay, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. I'm going to read Susie's takeaways because she couldn't be on. Her work schedule is pretty crazy right now. She said, I tend to sign up for any and all trainings that I can get my hands on. The more information, the better. A lot of the time, the content isn't anything new or revolutionary, but sometimes it's presented in a way that makes it more of an impact on me. Or maybe you just needed to hear one thing that day that you hadn't heard before. At conference, those aha moments are in the general session and the workshops, but the best information is found in the bathroom line in between sessions, where people are discussing what it is that they're going to do and how they're going to implement it. I have learned so much because we are such a creative bunch. It was also great to have concentrated time to really focus on improving my Pampered Chef business. That can be hard to come by when you're at home. There are endless distractions and excuses. It's also a reminder that I need to start incorporating some dedicated office hours back into my schedule because I've been slacking this summer, she says. My biggest takeaways were, 1, the importance of the after thank you calls. I will start doing these for all of my shows. I've had huge luck in the past adding hundreds of orders to shows, but I let my hatred or fear of the phone get in the way. I'm going to make a little note here. She posted on Debbie's team page, and I thought this was great. She said, here is a learning moment. She had done a vendor event, and she waited past the 24 to 48 hours that we recommend that you always follow up with somebody. And when she made her customer care follow-up calls to see if people wanted to book a show, a lady had already booked a show with a different Pampered Chef consultant. And had she called right away, it probably would have been with her. So she was like, that was a really good learning. You know, she knew what she was supposed to do, as we all do, but we don't always do what we know we need to do. Her second big aha moment was recruiting is no big deal. I certainly build this up in my head, and I know that I'm presenting it to potential recruits as a big deal, but it's not. If they try it out, great. If they like it, even better. And if they don't, they'll enjoy the products and the kit and probably be a great customer. What is there to be all worked up about? So I thought that was really good aha, that sometimes we make recruiting a really big deal. And just to tell you, my first year with Pampered Chef, my recruiting line at my shows was, oh my God, I'm from Boscawen, New Hampshire. If I can do this, you can do this. That was my recruiting line. And I recruited 25 people that year. So it doesn't have to be a big deal. It's come with me and try this. It's not a big deal. If you don't like it, no big deal. We'll give it a try for, 30 days, 45 days. I always tell them your obligation is to do 6 to 8 shows. Because once they've done that, they've hit their 1250 qualification, which is what they agree to when they sign the Pampered Chef contract, that they'll qualify. Basically, it pays back the cost of the kit by the time they sell that. So, let's get people to try. I certainly was one of those that thought I was only going to do it for 3 months and then I would be out after I earned all my free products. So, 12 years later, here I am. So for me, I agree with Emily. My aha moments, the majority of them came in the Nancy Jo Ryan meeting before the meeting. So I'm so happy she does that. She had hundreds of people in the room. It'll probably be bigger next year. There's no cost to this training. It is all free. You fly in an extra day early, and it is unfiltered by the home office. You're going to hear all the nitty-gritties about what works for these consultants and how they do it. One of the refreshing things for me was that Michael Reeves doesn't do a station style show. He does what I do, which is put a product in front of everybody and then we all cook a recipe together around one big table. So it's hands-on, but it's not the station style, which I was having difficulty with, but Susie and Wendy and lots of other people are having great success with. So it's your business. Remember, you're the CEO of your own business, so you can run your business how it works best for you. So just know that we want to train both station style and Rachel Ray format, but then you pick what works best for you. And the seminar that I went to that is totally changing my life, and I laugh about it now because all of you know how non-technical I am, is a seminar called Evernote. And Evernote is a cloud-based application where it will work on your iPhone or Droid, it'll work on your PC or your Mac, it'll work on your iPad or tablet. You can download it, and it cross-links to everything. And I'm working this week on creating files for the team. And what that means is I can, instead of using a Word document, create something in Evernote, and I can share it with you guys just like you would a regular email, but I can share it to you with what's called a live link. And what that does is if you click that link and you open it up, if I have adjusted or changed something in that document, you're always going to get the most updated one. So think of bridal registries. Until Pampered Chef comes back out with bridal registries, we can create a bride's wish list, share the link with the hostess, share the link with the bride, put it out on the Facebook page. When somebody opens up that link, they have the wish list. If somebody buys something off of it, there are check boxes. You can either put a hash mark through it or highlight it yellow that says highlighted has already been purchased. And the next person that opens that up has the updated list. There's also going to be an opportunity where I can create a Dear Host letter for the month of August and have attached to it the host special, the guest special, the outside order form, all of that kind of stuff. And I'll share it with you guys. You change your information on it, and then you share that link as a stagnant link. There's 2 ways of sharing it, as a public link or non-public link. And so you can share that or email it to your hostesses, and it's going to be individual for them. But next month, when you go back and open the same link I sent you, you're going to have the September one already. So I can see how this is going to make it really easy for people that work full-time jobs that don't have a lot of time to create or assemble or put things together, to just have somebody in the upline take care of it, and then it'll be available for everybody else. So that was just a really big aha moment. And I also did the Product Pros Tell All, and that was really good. They talked about how to create a picture with words and food. And I'll share more of that in a individual team training. And the last thing I want to say is at Fall Launch, we're going to be talking about a lot of different things, bookings and recruiting and sales and organization and all the things that we've learned at conference. There's going to be a director that's going to talk on all of those topics. But if you haven't downloaded the Rory Vaden book to your technology, tablet, phone, or whatever, or you haven't ordered it off of Amazon, if you like the paper version, I recommend you get that, because the one principle in that book that I just think is amazing, and you'll hear me talk about, is he talks about it's discipline. And it's the discipline in our life, the little things. When you come to an escalator, did you choose the escalator or did you choose the stairs? And if you chose the stairs, you're making that choice to burn the extra calories. It's those little choices over time that change your life. So if you're exercising a little bit more, if you park further away from the store and have to walk further, then you're burning more calories. If you choose to make the phone calls, even though we're scared to death of the phone, every one of us are, including myself, but if you pick up the phone and you do what you know you need to do, in the long term, your business will be so big that you won't have to keep picking up the phone anymore. So be sure that you come to Fall Launch. Be sure that you register by emailing me, because I have a specific link that I have to register you on a director page. You can PayPal me the $25 if you haven't already paid, or you can contact me and mail me a check, and just be sure to be there. Does anybody else want to add anything to that before we close our recording?
No,
No?
just recommend
Okay.
that they go to Fall Launch. So
Go to Fall Launch and start a savings club. You can go into the bank. I don't know whether they still do those Christmas clubs where you can save money throughout the
Yeah.
year, but I recommend that you start a Christmas club and set aside some money for that, and we can talk about cost. But I'm guessing from New Hampshire, it's probably between $250 and $300 for an airfare, and it's $200 for the conference, which you can earn for free with your PC dollars, by the way. And also that the hotel probably cost us $100 for the whole time we were there, because we share rooms with other people. So $500 should cover it. And if you plan now, it's really not that much money. So set the money aside and invest in yourself and invest in your business. It'll be the best thing that you've done for yourself next year.